is Friday, February 3rd, and I'm heading across the Twin Cities to pick up a new part for kind of an ongoing future build kind of a thing. And I guess there's no real way to hide it, and not really much of a reason to really hide it. So I'm going to pick up a supercharger. It's an Eaton M90 off of, it's a Gen 2, so I think that's like a mid-90s or late 90s Pontiac Bonneville or Grand Am or maybe a Regal, I don't remember. Anyway, it's off of the 3.8 liter V6 that GMC makes, I think. Anyway, I'm not totally sure on all the specifics of it, but of the 3.6 or the 3.8 V6. I do know that it's a big enough supercharger for an H6 Subaru. So that's kind of exciting. And that's the plan. So I have a aluminum intake manifold from the EZ30D, that an extra one that I got on eBay for about 45 bucks, I think. And I'm going to get this supercharger, and the goal is to mate the two together. So yeah, should be pretty good. It's going to be a pretty sweet project. I'm planning on picking it up. They're only asking 90 bucks for it. It came out of, I think, a Bonneville with 75,000 miles on it. The guys cleaned it up and painted it red, which I'm not a fan of, but 90 bucks. If nothing else, it'll be a good kind of mock-up supercharger to figure out kind of how the supercharger is going to sit. Here it is. So here is a Gen 2 M90 off of, I think he said it was a 98 or 99 Pontiac Grand Prix. There's no wobble here. It sounds really good. You flip it over and it spins really smooth. There's a couple of spots on it where the Teflon coating is peeling, but overall it's in really good shape. It has 75,000 miles on it. The guy was racing on some highway and went off the road and rolled the car, and so he's parting out the stuff that he still can. That was a while ago, but he had another pretty cool Grand Prix that he was taking to the track this year. It was pretty cool looking. Anyway, I've never really been into anything like that, but it's cool, and I'm glad that they're so readily available. Just searching on my local Craigslist, I found like 5 or 6 under $300. And then there was one that it's probably closer to an hour and a half or 2 hours away, but it's completely rebuilt, and it was only $200. So it's not the most ideal supercharger. Whoops. It's not the most ideal supercharger to be putting on because the snout is so dang long. It's better than a Gen 1, but it's obviously still, it's not the best option. The best option, I would think, is an M.62, I'm pretty sure. It's again an Eaton M62. I think they came on Mercedes and some other vehicles, but it's a lot shorter. The nose cuts off about right here, and then the pulley's just right there. So it's probably 6 inches shorter. That would be the best option. Mostly just because you could line this up with the pulleys, and it would be centered right over the top of the H6, and that would be pretty good. This one, because the snout is so long, the end of the manifold is about right here, and then there's just empty space that I'm gonna have to deal with. It won't be that big of a deal, but definitely not ideal. The reason I went for this is because it's so readily available. Like I said, a rebuilt one is $200. I was finding used M62s on eBay for about $350 to $500, and that's more than I want to spend. Even if it would make it easier, I guess the install on it would be a little more straightforward. But I mean, I don't care. I'm gonna have to do some fabrication anyways, and fabricating for this one will be fine, because if and when this does go bad, I'll be able to pull it off and throw on a rebuilt one for cheap. I mean, I can buy 2 of the M90 for the price that I can get 1 M62 for, and so in that regard, it makes it more, I don't know, that's the route that I'm wanting to take. So I know it's still, I mean, $90 for a machine that creates boost is really cheap, and even $350 to $500 is pretty cheap for the amount of power that I'm adding. So I don't know, maybe in the future I'll end up getting an M62 and supercharging something with that. But for now, I mean, like I was saying on the way over, I've never dealt with, I don't have any experience with superchargers, and so I figure $90 to get my hands on one is a good deal. Plus, $90 is within my modifying monthly budget. I guess that's the big part. So yeah, I can, yeah, I'm happy to have my hands on one. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab it and go ahead and put it on here, so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so obviously it's not level or anything, but besides that, it's looking pretty good. And here you can really tell that it's not the best choice, because with it level, it's going to be sitting somewhere back there. Kind of like that. And that puts throttle body way back there. Yeah, I'm not going to be using the stock throttle body, so that's really not an issue. What I was kind of thinking is cutting it off right here and welding on just a pipe with an angle on it, just 90 degree, and then I can have an intake coming off the other side. But the biggest part is just going to be lining up the pulley so that it fits and sits right. Something else I was thinking about is, since this AC, I mean the compressor's good, but the, oh, I forget what it's called. Anyway, front part of it, the actual engagement was bad. I was thinking about getting rid of my AC and moving my alternator over to here, because then I could have this pulley straight up and then kind of work another tensioner in there and make it so it could route onto there easily. But I mean, that's way down the line. Yeah, it's really cool looking. This might be sticking through the hood. I kind of have a thing for that. I like my engine to pop out the hood. As much as it's not low-key or stealthy, it looks like a toy car. And I'm still, I don't know, I've always wanted a car with a big blower, an old muscle car. And essentially that's what this is. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the supercharger sitting on the engine. I have no idea how quickly I'm going to be able to get this project even started. I mean, I have an intake manifold and I have a supercharger. I don't really have the tools to make it work the way I want it to right now. But at least I have the two pieces to kind of get going with it, and to do some more planning. But anyway, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, because I don't know when I'm going to be having updates on this, and so if you want to see more, make sure to follow, because I can't tell you when updates on the Supercharged H6 are going to be happening. Anyway, it's really cold, and so I'm going to take that inside and get inside because my hands are freezing off. But yeah, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll see you then.